Giggelgras, papegaaislaai, aaptwak, boom, karaktergras. Dagga is deur die jare al baie dinge genoem. Duisende het dit onwettig gerook. Nadat die Grondwethof dit onlangs wettig verklaar het, is dagga-activiste en gebruikers opgewonde, terwyl regsgeleerdes en medici minder opgewonde is oor hierdie uitspraak. Talle mense met epikonders, maar ook mense met ernstige siektes, glo vas aan die genesende krag van die neuweprodukte van dagga, soos olie, tee en rome. Ons het met verskeie kenners hieroor gaan gesels. Ek gaan met die deur in die huis val en net vra wat is die gevare van cannabis?
Het is baie belangrik om altyd te onthou dat wanneer ons enige substans of middel gebruik, daar is die gevare van hier en nou van het gebruik en ons ook meer langtermyn gevare. Met cannabis spesifiek is ons bekommerd oor die hier en nou in terme van die feit dat dit vir pasiënte baie angstigheid veroorsaak, selfs paniekaanvalle. Dit kan psigose veroorsaak wat hallusinasies is, jy hoor of jy sien dinge wat nie bestaan nie, maar wat vir jou werklik voel. En dis baie kommerwekkend.
Since I was in my mid-20s to now being nearly 60, I've smoked pretty much every day of my life. I used it in some way, and it's only enhanced my life. I've never felt bad about it. I've never had a hangover from it. I've never had any guilt about it. And it's actually, I respond well to it. We have seen people that it doesn't work that way. This is not for everybody. And it has taken quite a long time of practice to know when to do it and how to do it and why to do it. Because a lot of problematic use of any narcotic is the fact that you don't know why you're using it. You're just doing it.
Die standpunt van die mediese professie is dat dagga het betekenisvolle nadele, spesifiek vir jong mense. Veral in 'n land soos Suid-Afrika waar ons 'n geweldige probleem met dwelmverslawing het.
You know, cannabis changes one's consciousness. You know, it affects your mind. So there will always be a danger of people abusing it, and that's mainly people who are trying to escape from something. And it's not the cannabis that it's the problem, but it's what are they trying to escape from. You have youngsters who will hit 10 bongs in a row. It's probably not going to do them any harm, but it might not be so good for them to be so subconscious all the time. You know, people who use too much every day, it might cause them to neglect some of their responsibilities. So that is why we've always promoted responsible adult use.
En daar's ook in die akute gebruik en intoksikasie van cannabis is daar simptome wat kognitiewe verstadiging is. Dit beteken jy's perseptueel motories verstadig, jou reaksietyd is stadig, jou konsentrasie is verswak.
I probably, on the scale of harm, smoke more weed than the doctor would like me to.
Die SAKENDO-studie is 'n baie bekende studie wat gekyk het na opname van pasiënte in rehabilitasiesentrums in Suid-Afrika. En in 2017, oor al die provinsies in die land, in die ouderdomsgroep onder 20, was cannabis die primêre substans van gebruik, nie is algemeen gevind onder hierdie groep.
Meer as alkohol.
Meer as alkohol.
Wat is die mites rondom cannabis?
Ek dink met die huidige wetgewing is die eerste mite definitief dat omdat dit nou wettig is, kan dit mos nie skadelik wees nie. En dit is ongelukkige mite. Ons weet met navorsing dit het skadelike effekte wat onomkeerbaar is op die brein. Ek dink 'n ander groot mite is ook dat dit nie verslawend is nie. Baie pasiënte sê vir my dat hulle glad nie dit verslawend ervaar nie, maar ons weet ook ongelukkig vandag dit het 'n duidelike verslawingsrisiko. Die risiko van psigose is ook baie kommerwekkend. Ons sien dat die pasiënte, veral as hulle in 'n vroeë ouderdomsfase, onder 20 of so, ook cannabis gebruik, 'n baie hoër risiko het om psigose te ontwikkel.
In 30 years, Myrtle and I have seen two people, the same person twice, and one other person actually lose it on weed. And they were experienced users, but one day they had some weed and it just went pear-shaped for them.
I think there needs to be help for people who have become dependent on cannabis. It's not physically, chemically addictive, because I know I'm a regular user. I use cannabis practically every single day of my life, but sometimes it happens that I can't smoke or I don't really feel like having a dab today. And I don't see any of these withdrawal symptoms that usually come with something that is severely addictive. That's my own personal anecdote. You know, we've never been under the illusion that this is a problem-free substance. but it is a safe relaxant at the same time.
Ons psigiatriese hospitale is eintlik oorvol met jong adolessente wat dagga begin gebruik het. En 1 uit 6 van mense wat met dagga eksperimenteer, van die jong mense, raak verslaaf. So hy het definitief verslawende eienskappe en daar is baie duidelike onttrekkingssimptome.
Michael Renda van Johannesburg is 'n geneeser wat dagga-produkte voorskryf.
Business has grown by 600% since the legalization, just because people are more out there and more willing to try the so-called drug. You know, we all know, all the professionals and everybody that does it in the industry know it's not a drug as such. We use it as an extra drug for heroin addicts, methamphetamine addicts. I'm a previous addict myself. I've been clean now for a good couple of years, using cannabis and being on cannabis. So it's a lot of, back in the day, everybody said it's a gateway drug as such. It's not. We use it as an extra drug, and we've had really, really great results on that.
All weed and all use of it has medical qualities to it, some better than others. So Myrtle and I don't have doctors. We don't know where the local clinic is. I don't have any prescriptions. I don't have a repeat prescription. I don't take any pills any morning that the doctor gave me. And we're as fit as we can possibly be. But it's not just because of weed, it's because of a lifestyle around weed.
Dagga op sy eie is miskien nie so gevaarlik soos kokain nie, maar dit maak die deure oop sodat iemand voel hy voel nou goed en hy het dit weer nodig, hy wil dit weer gebruik en dan kan hy makliker oorslaan na 'n baie gevaarliker, meer verslawende middel soos kokain. Daar is nou van ons kollegas wat nou sogenaamde naturopate is en sê alles wat natuurlik is soos gesond, jy weet, en nou dit word 'n bietjie ook oordryf. Nou kokain is ook 'n natuurlike produk, jy weet. So mense kan nie net sê net omdat dit natuurlik is, het dit nie neeweffekte nie.
Cannabis treatment is a lot less harsh on the body. We find that it heals certain other ailments. And if you are healing, for instance, cancer, for instance, but you're diabetic, we find that after a 3-month heavy cannabis treatment where you go up to 1,000 milligrams on a daily basis, which is normal standard cancer protocol, we find that it starts healing other factors, same as your liver, pancreas, that type of thing. We find that all the damage starts getting reverted back and a self-healing process happens.
Maar die navorsing is nog nie op hierdie stadium genoeg en goeie genoeg kwaliteit dat ons kan beamoen dat die gebruik van hierdie tipe cannabinoïde die huidige medikasies en so wat ons gebruik moet vervang nie.
Die voorskrywende dokter moet dan presies weet wat is in die produk en of daar goeie gestandaardisasie is van hierdie sogenaamde medisinale voordele.
It certainly doesn't give you any lung cancers in any form. It doesn't give you cancer in any form. It is not a gateway drug to anything. You are the gateway, not it.